horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to do a movie review. Yes, time to review the movie The Invisible Man. You can't see me! You can't see me! Now, The Invisible Man is a 2020 science fiction psychological horror film. Was written and directed by Leigh Whannell. Yes, the guy that did all the Saw movies. He actually directed a pretty good horror movie last year. I think it was last year or 2018, Upgrade. And now he's directing this movie, which is also based upon the novel of the same name by H.G. Wells. And it is a reboot of the Universal Monsters film of the same name. This stars Elizabeth Moss, Oliver Jackson Cohen, and Eldridge Hodge. Now, I was a bit interesting when I first saw the trailer. Actually, the news that broke that Leigh Whannell was actually going to do The Invisible Man and I was finally glad to see that after the disaster that was the Dark Universe, that they decided to go this route. So let's see what I have to say about The Invisible Man. Now, when Cecilia's abusive ex takes his own life and leaves her his fortune, she suspects his death as a hoax. As a series of coincidences turns lethal, Cecilia tries to prove that she's being hunted by someone that nobody can't see. Oh no! The worst thing possible that can happen is happening. Now, first off, you really got to give it to Leigh Whannell. This man that gave us Saw and Insidious is now giving us perhaps the best adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel and the best reboot remake of Universal monster movie since the 1999 version of The Mummy. Yes, this is that good and I really enjoyed it. Now, even though he uses a different approach to this story right here, what he has crafted is a very engaging, terrifying, and suspenseful movie here. He and the filmmakers did an excellent job in casting Elizabeth Moss as the lead here because she is simply brilliant here. Now, she's not, she's an attractive woman, but here she's not, she's not as attractive as, say, like someone as, like, say, Margot Robbie, or any other top women in the world. I'll even say Naomi Watts, not Naomi Watts, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman here, but she actually does a fantastic job here. It's her performance and Whannell's directing and writing what makes it a very entertaining and very intense film here. Now, right off the bat, when the film begins, we see how terrified Cecile is of trying her best to escape her wealthy scientist boyfriend, Adrian Griffin, from a fortified mansion. And I do mean this guy's got his mansion fortified. After she escapes, she decides to live with her childhood friend, and he's a cop by James Lanier and his daughter Sydney. She tries to put her life back together. Now, eventually we learn that Adrian basically controlled everything in her life, and he was mentally, emotionally, and physically abusive to her. This guy did some wacky shit. And especially now when the weird shit starts happening around her, she freaks out and she believes that Adrian, who was a leading authority in optics, as we come to find out later on in the film, has found a way to become invisible. You can't find a worse situation when the person that is an abuser and a scientist and finds a way to make it so that you can't even see him. She's in a very bad spot here. Now, I'll give Whannell and the filmmakers credit for picking a very subject here, domestic abuse, as the focal point of the story here. Now, this could cause some triggers in some people, and they might not enjoy it, but I'm glad that they actually never showed the actual abuse that Adrian did to Cecilia, but you can see and feel how terrified that she was of him, because, like, this guy just did everything. It's like this, if you want to talk about a narcissistic personality disorder, Adrian Griffin would be the poster child for this one, because this guy did everything crazy to this girl. Now, what drives this film is Elizabeth Moss' performance as Cecilia. Now, yes, she's basically in every scene in the movie because the movie is about her. But what Moss does is that she shows the fear, the anxiety, the stress, and the sadness throughout the movie. It's a tour de force for Cecilia. First, trying to plan to escape from Adrian. Even then, we feel the fear on her because this guy was just such a douchebag. And then, as the film goes on, trying to prove everyone that he's not only alive, that he's found the way to be invisible. And you feel her pain. You feel angry that no one else doesn't believe her because it's so extraordinary. Even if this were to actually happen in real life, we would think that the person's actually crazy. And that's what makes this Moss's performance so great, because she does what we expect a person in her situation to do, and everyone not believe her, and she freaks out. Now, now it's the worst situation that a person like Cecilia could be in. And Whannell does a great job in creating the tension in the atmosphere in the film, especially in the small house that her cop friend Lanier lives in. It's very small, close quarters. There are certain scenes where you can feel that she's just hopelessly terrified, and that's what we feel is the hopelessness that Cecilia finds herself in her that she's in. We care for her well-being, and hopefully that she can find a way to survive, and hopefully someone can actually believe her. Now, unlike Hollow Man or other movies that involve the Invisible Man concept, here, Whannell doesn't rely that much on effects that make Griffin invisible. Now, I do like the inventive way that Griffin does to make himself invisible. I thought that was a clever trick. Now, there's nothing new here as far as the effects go. We've seen them in other movies, but we care so much for Cecilia and her friends when the action starts to take place. We still care for her and we still want her to get away. It just causes so much tension. It's how well the script is and how well the performance is. That even though it's nothing new as far as the effects go about how they made him invisible, it's still a joy to see, and we want her to get away. Now, while he is barely on screen, we do have to give credit for Oliver Jackson Cohen, who plays Griffin. Now, while his namesake in the original was a scientist as well, we all know who's seen the old school horror movie, The Invisible Man. Griffin was a scientist as well. Now, this Griffin isn't obsessed with being invisible like his namesake was in the original, but he just uses his knowledge in order to drive Cecilia batshit crazy. I mean, it does. I mean, he really stoops to some real low craziness to make sure that Cecilia comes back to him. Now, I know a lot of people be talking about that third act in the movie, and I really don't have a problem with it. It's what I believe is it's the right type of reaction, and that's all I really have to say about it. Most people who have seen the movie probably know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you probably have your own opinions about it. As far as I'm concerned, I really didn't have a problem with it because that's the right type of reaction I believe that should have been had. Now, everyone did a fantastic job here, from Fennell's writing, the cinematographer, Aegis Hodge and Storm Reed, who played James, and daughter Sydney. Everyone did a good job here. I believe Whannell, who, like I said before, who did the Saw, Insidious, and Upgrade, will become, if he hasn't already, a big name in horror. He might actually wind up being the next James Wan, but that's where he came from. So obviously he learned from the best, and now he's got his own portfolio to continue. And as far as Universal is concerned, if this box office is big, which I expect it will be, will more than likely greenlit remakes of other in the Universal Monsters series. I believe we'll be seeing that probably within the next years to come. It's something that they really want to do. Unfortunately, we all know what happened with the Dark Universe has failed. But this is what happens when you take your time. You don't rush shit like you did with that goddamn Tom Cruise mummy shit. This is what you get. You get a fascinating film that's well acted, it's suspenseful, it's tension worthy. We don't have a bunch of CDI crap filled monster crap like we had in that Tom Cruise bullshit. This is what you get. And I believe that this is we finally, after 2 months of boring and bad horror movies, we finally have our first excellent horror movie of the year. Way to go, Leigh Whannell. So, I'm going to give The Invisible Man 3.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, I want to give it 3.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, I really did enjoy this film, and more than likely this will be on my top 10 best horror movies of the year. So, horror fans, what do you think about The Invisible Man? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Do you think this is the best horror movie so far this year? Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section and tell me what you thought about The Invisible Man. And so that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please give it a like and share. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Also, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember, horror rules. I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.
Every town has an Elm Street.